Hey everyone, my name is Melanie and I have a very important question for you, which is probably why you clicked on this video to begin with. The very important question for all parents should be considering: should I fingerprint my child? Now, I stumbled across a video a while ago and it was talking about two Secret Service agents were talking about pedophiles, and I never even thought of this question until the lady was talking about while she was in the Secret Service, she used to help parents fingerprint their children, figure it out, know what to do, and with these fingerprinting of the children, it helps law enforcement if they were to go missing to already have a head start of having their DNA, their fingerprints, which helps identify crimes and missing people most often, and also the concurrent pictures that they have. It's a very interesting topic, and it makes a lot of parents sad that they have to do this, that they have to even think about, oh, my child may go missing one day and I may not be able to see them, and I have to fingerprint my child. How am I supposed to talk about this? How am I supposed to introduce this topic to my children? How am I supposed to go about it? Like, all of these questions flood these parents' brains, and it makes them sad and upset that they even have to take their child to go to the police station or to do it themselves to fingerprint their child in a case that something may happen. And I like to think of it like this. So, of course, when you're teaching your toddler, if you're teaching your child growing up, you'd be like, hey, you don't talk to strangers, you don't get into strangers' cars, you call mom and dad if something were to happen. Like if you're in California, your child has to learn to hide underneath the desks in case there's an earthquake, and children have to learn where to hide if there's a school shooter. Like, this is just the facts of life, and I like to think it like this. Like, when you're a child, you don't think much of it. You're like, oh, okay, my parents want me to not talk to strangers, not take candy from strangers, not to get into strangers' cars. Okay, if the ground is shaking, I hide underneath the desk. And oh, if something were to happen, if there was a shooter, I just to go where my teacher tells me to go, right? Like, I remember growing up, I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, okay, that's what we need to do, right? And it's just a way to keep your child safe. And I promise your kids probably won't even remember. They won't remember, but you will remember, right? You will remember, but your child probably won't remember. I, as a 20-year-old now, I don't remember much of my childhood. I remember some defining factors, but I don't really remember things like that. I don't know if my parents have done a DNA kit on me or any of my siblings, and I'm going to talk to them about this. I'll be like, hey, these kits, they're available, and you can buy them. Okay. So I want to get into like the specifics and why fingerprinting your child matters, why getting this kit matters. Number one, your fingerprint is uniquely you. No one else has a fingerprint exactly like you, and your fingerprint never changes. While you have a picture of your child, if it goes missing for several years, their body and their features are going to change, right? Your DNA doesn't change, but it's less likely that they would find DNA unless your child, unfortunately, is dead and found that way. But your child could be leaving DNA evidence as they are being abducted, right? They learn to scratch, they learn to bite, they do anything that you are taught, that you teach your children to do if something terrible were to happen, if your child were abducted, right? You yell, you scream, you bite, you scratch, so you have that perpetrator's DNA underneath your fingernails. That can stay for a while. That DNA, if your child scratches them of their perpetrator, if their DNA is already up in the archives, you got your guy, right? So your fingerprint never changes. As you grow, it may be like a little bit elongated as your fingers get longer, right? As you grow and become a more functioning human being in society, but your fingerprint never changes. The Salem, Illinois Police Department recommended that a person's fingerprints never change and are one of the most valuable investigative tools available to law enforcement. And the unfortunate event of a missing child, fingerprints can be used to track the movements of the child and the abductor. During the crucial first moments after a child is discovered missing, parents are too often emotionally upset to remember details such as the child's height, weight, and blood type. Our child identification kits condense this information into a compact file that can be handed to the first investigators on the scene. And I found this very true, because if my child were to go missing, if my little siblings were to go missing, I am not going to remember the height. Like, I don't even remember my older brother's height. I know he's 6 foot something. My little sister, my two of them, I have no idea what their height is. Like, it's 5 foot for one of them, and the other is still like in elementary school. So I don't know, and the average height of an elementary school girl. I know their hair color and their eye color. I don't know their blood type, and I most certainly will not know their weight. It doesn't seem to matter to me, right? It doesn't seem to matter to me. I'm like, I don't care. See? So the average person probably doesn't put that into consideration, and as an adult with your child missing or your sibling missing, you're not going to remember those details because you're so frantic worrying about where they could be, what is happening to them, who has them. Like, you're going through a million different thought processes of what is happening to your missing loved ones. This is why this is so important. And I found this amazing program. So the FBI even recommends it, and they're a partner with this program, and it's a national program. And the FBI recommends going to the National Child ID program to get a kit to help investigators identify your child if the worst were to happen. Now I'm going to bring up a very sad statistic. Over 1,000 children in the U.S. go missing every single day. Now I'm going to say this again. Over 1,000 children go missing in the U.S. every single day. Now, I believe it's 80% of them are found within the 24 hours. But the rest of the 20%, I think over 48 hours you have even more likely, but the rest of the 10% are very unfortunately not found alive, or they're never found. And that's a very unfortunate statistic to know, but it's reality. Over 1,000 kids go missing in the U.S. every single day. And this is reality. Over 1,000 kids in the U.S. go missing every single day. Now that is very sad, but it's reality, and we gotta face it. Especially as a parent, your main goal is to protect your children, to teach your children to become more functionant members of society. Do your best to not cause so much trauma on this child as you are learning how to raise them. Your number one goal is to keep your kids safe, right? To keep them fed, to keep them clothed, to keep them housed, to take them to go to school so they can learn and become better, hopefully awesome members of society, right? Now this is what we need to do. And the National Child ID program has provided over 50 million kids. Now, this is not like a tiny program. This is a huge program that the NFL also helps fund, and so does the FBI. So this is a prominent program, and I didn't even know this existed until I was researching this for this YouTube video about this program and how it's been prominent for several years. Now, each of this kit provides English fingerprint pads. So it doesn't make like marks everywhere. Now the cards are detailing your child's physical descriptions, including a body map, like what you see on those true crime, the body map where the mortuary person marks like how they were murdered, like that, see? Like that, so you can pinpoint down where they have a tattoo, where they have a scar, like these are identifiers if they were to identify this child like that. Like this can be also them being alive, identifying the child with those physical markers, or deceased, unfortunately. And it's also like birthmarks and other identifying factors that you think may be relevant to the investigators. And it's also a place where you can keep current photos. So like every year when you take your Easter family photos, if you take your first day of school pictures, you can just print it out and put it inside this little kit. And also an easy to use swab for a small DNA sample, like what you use when you want to figure out where you're from, like those DNA kits. Yeah, and you can just put this inside this little small kit, and the authorities, the FBI or the other police factors, like members, the authorities investigating your child, they won't keep it. They won't keep it, and they're not going to have it until the worst does happen, and you have to give it to them. You don't have to, but it would be wise of you to give it to these authority members to help find your kid. Like, it won't be on some national database. It'll just be in your home. It'll be in your home where all your important physical documents are, right? We all have them, like your birth certificate, your social security number, like information about your housing, your apartment, important things. You can just keep it in there and no one will have it. And an awesome detail is that you can get these kits for free at your local FBI office, at your police office, and sometimes they even give them at college football games. Like, you can look, you can call around, you can visit and be like, hey, I was wondering if I can have an identifying kit for my child. But also, if you don't want to go around to the hassle, you can go to this program, and guys, they're literally $10. They're literally $10, and they give you like tons of discount. That's a steal. That's like less than your Starbucks order with all those discounts. $10. $10 for you to have this in your home with your child or children. Literally $10. $10. And it takes 2 minutes to fill out. It takes 2 minutes to fill out with getting the DNA and the fingerprint, and I'm sure it may take a little bit longer to have a physical photo to have printed out unless you're already ready to put that inside the file. It literally takes 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That's like 2 TikTok videos. It just takes 2 minutes, and it costs $10. Like, this is astounding, and I'm so happy that they have this because they noticed a problem with this program, and the FBI and the police department, they noticed a problem and they found something to fill that problem, which was the National Child ID program to give out these kits. And they have videos for you to watch so you can learn a little bit more about the kits, like how it works and what they found in the studies, and they give tips to help keep your child safe so they most likely will not be abducted or go missing. Like, I think this is also very important, especially if your child is special needs, because if you follow the National Center for Missing Exploited Children, you know that children with special needs, if they get overwhelmed, they get frustrated, they're more likely to just run off. And unfortunately they were found in bodies of water, but sometimes the police officers just find them wandering around the streets. Like, I feel like, especially if you have a special needs child, you need that. I also feel like if you are white, Hispanic, Black, and Native American, you need this because you're more likely to be abducted. If you're a Black female, you're 4 times more likely, from ages, 10 to 13, you're 4 times more likely to be abducted. Especially if your children are around the 10 to 13 age, that's like where predators that's their ideal victim. Like, you need to do this. You need to find this information and you need to help it because children go missing. 1,000 of them go missing every single day. That is insane. That's a wild statistic. And unfortunately, not a lot of people know about that. And yes, 80% of them are found within the first 24 hours. But after the first 24 hours, it is really, really hard for investigators to find them. So it's important that you have this. It's important that you have this kit so you can help your child be found quicker. So you can help authorities not have to worry about trying to figure out their DNA off of their favorite toys that they play with, it off of their hairbrush, and not having to comb through their hairbrushes and all of your house, your apartment to find important factor so they can have DNA to help find your kid. Because you can just give it to them. You already have a picture, so they can post that Amber Alert in your local area with the most current picture of your child. So then other people can be on the lookout for your child, because Amber Alerts, they help find a lot of kids. So if you don't have a current photo, it's not going to help the people in your local area help you find your kid, right? So you need a current photo, you need the DNA, and you need the fingerprints, because it's a valuable resource for investigators to have. And guys, it's $10. It's $10 at the most expense. It's $10. It's very important that you have this. So you can help investigators if something bad were to happen to your kid. It's very important, and I'm glad I stumbled upon this video, because I realized, wow, a lot of people, they don't have that. They don't have these kits to help investigators. They don't. So that's why I made this video, so others can be aware, so they can learn also about this. Because that's amazing. Amazing. I'm glad that they have this program, and I'm glad that they have sold over 50 million. Like, they have given over 50 million, because that helps a lot. There's 50 million people that have identifiable markers if they were to go missing. That's amazing. And it won't be used against you. Like, they won't have access to it unless you physically give the FBI, the local police officers, your DNA and your fingerprints. They won't have it until you give it to them. Like, this is amazing. And I'm so happy if you learned something, and if you're considering it, I will definitely have the links down below so you can access this program very easily, so you can order this, so you can look at their videos and what they have and their information on how to keep your child safe, like the best things that they have noticed with families and how you can use these kits. Like, this is amazing stuff, and I'm so happy that they have this available so everyone can just help make a little bit easier if something were to happen. And I hope you never need to use it. I absolutely hope that you never need to use these kits, and I hope that the world becomes a better place. But it's not a good, it's like there's a lot of good people, but there's a lot of bad actors that make it a dangerous place. So I hope that you never have to use this, but it's better to have it than be sorry that you don't have it, right? That's the great mentality. It's better to be prepared and then wish you were prepared if something bad were to happen. That's my mentality, and I hope a lot of you think of that mentality is a great mentality when it comes to this, so you can be prepared for the inevitable. I hope this video helps, and that you can go on this program and find more information and really put it into consideration. And I'm sure if your kids are young enough, they won't remember, and if they even are older enough, they're not going to remember unless someone brings it up. They're like, oh yeah, my parents did do that. Oh well. And they go on with their day. Like, kids, they don't really think much about this stuff. And I can say this as a 20-year-old, a Gen Zer. Like, we don't really think of this much. I'm sure they're more consumed with the TikTok trends and what's going on in school and their friends and their life. They're not going to remember it. Not really. Unless you make it like a big prominent thing. I promise it's going to be okay. And I hope you never have to use this. I hope this never becomes relevant in your family, but it's better to have it than to be sorry. And I hope you're having an awesome day and everything is going right in your day, and you're not watching this video after something bad happens. I hope not. That would be really unfortunate. But I will put the links down below so you can look at it, so you can look at the FBI recommendation, and you can look at this program. And hopefully, I really hope, buy this, especially if it's $10, or go to your local police, FBI, or if your college football game is hosting and giving out these free kits. I really hope that you can get it for free, but if not, it's only $10. I hope you can get it, and that this video definitely helps you know that you should get your child fingerprinted. That you should. I think it's very important that you should, and it will help you out and help you sleep better at night. All right, have an awesome day. I hope the best for you. Goodbye.